So, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was actually one of the few movies I was really looking forward to this year. And I'll have to say, it not only lived up to my expectations, but it actually surpassed them. Hello everyone, welcome back to 3D Reviews. Today we are taking a look at the long-awaited Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. This movie is the fifth in the Shrek franchise, and I'm happy to say that things are still on the up and up. In fact, I would say this is actually one of DreamWorks' better movies, which is crazy to think. It's a sequel to a spin-off. So basically, Puss has run through 8 of his lives and he's on his last life. And there's this wishing star, and if he gets to the wishing star, he can wish for all of his lives back. But things get a little bit complicated because he is being tracked down by an evil wolf who wants to take his last life. Which, by the way, that wolf is one of the freakiest things I've ever seen in a DreamWorks movie. Like, legitimate chills went up my spine every time that guy was on screen. I also would like to say, this movie hit close to home a few times. Like I said, it goes pretty hard. There's swearing in this movie. Some of it's bleeped out, some of it's not. But you can tell they were definitely pushing that PG rating. Like, I don't know how close they were to a PG-13 rating with this, but it must have been close because, like I said, this is a pretty edgy movie, even by DreamWorks standards. Not just in the tone and the concepts and the dialogue, just everything in general about it feels like it's a more serious movie. It can be playful at times, but the movie takes itself seriously, and every character is just so much fun. Puss is fun, we got Kitty Softpaws back, we have a new character named Burrito, we have Little Jack Horner, or he's Big Jack Horner now, he basically looks like Fisk from Into the Spider-Verse. We have Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and you have all these people going after the star in order to make their wish. It is just an excellent time. Even if you can't see it in 3D, I would really recommend checking this movie out because it is very, very good. Let's talk about the 3D. DreamWorks is the god king of 3D movies. That is mostly thanks to Phil, Captain 3D McNally, for paving the way for a lot of that. And this movie is no exception, and I would say even more so than the other animated movies that came out this year, this movie does feel more tailor-made for a 3D experience. Puss has a little rapier. He points it at the screen a lot. There's a moment where he's launched off of an instrument and the sword's like coming out of the screen. They like to point the sword at the screen a lot. And there's also a lot of moments where the camera's looking down and the screen is very, very deep. Is the 3D as deep as it was in the first Puss in Boots? I don't think so, but it's still used in a lot of fun ways. You can definitely tell that the filmmakers had 3D in mind when making this movie. It's a very clean 3D experience. You won't regret seeing it in 3D. Like I said, there's a lot of fun pop-out moments, a lot of deep moments, and also the action sequences, they really push the 3D there. They stretch it out, they make the characters seem larger than life or more stretched out and unusual looking through the medium of 3D during these intense action sequences, and it works very well to heighten the intensity of that. So even on a storytelling level, the 3D is being used properly to help tell the story. In fact, I wouldn't actually mind seeing this again in 3D. Hell, I think I might actually go watch this again today in 3D if I get I'll have the time. I'm probably gonna go see this again. I mean, it was that good. There's a few moments where I almost teared up. There's a moment where Puss starts having a panic attack and he has to learn how to calm down. I won't go into too much detail, but I really identified with that, and it just really hits close to home. Everything about this movie is fantastic. All the wonderful things you're hearing about it are absolutely true. It's definitely earned its high rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think this is going to end up being another DreamWorks classic. You can see all these sequences here, like with the fireworks, that was really intense 3D, the fight scenes, the choreography, everything works together, and the 3D is the cherry on top, which I believe should always be the case. It shouldn't be the point of it. It should be the cherry and the icing on top that just makes everything that much sweeter and come together. Thank you guys for checking this 3D review out. I really appreciate it. Go check out Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It's definitely worth the watch, like I said, even in 2D. And I will see you guys next year.